Good evening.
Good evening.
It is Tuesday,
Yeah.
December 23rd.
Yeah.
Skipped yesterday. After work, we prepared cookie dough. Today, after work, we picked up some Chipotle after fun adventures in trying to find a freaking restaurant that is open on the eve of Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
Not as easy as you might think.
Nope.
But we got food finally that we were able to bring home so that we could do movie day.
Movie day.
Because we picked up Polar Express to do a fun Christmas movie. Which I've never seen. I think I've seen like the end of it several times, many times. I worked in the movie theater when it came out.
Yeah.
And so I would be probably standing around at the end waiting to clean up the auditorium.
Yeah.
Have you any memories with the movie?
It was a good movie. I like it a lot.
I do have a little bit of stress that I might not at all enjoy it because it might be one that she likes a lot because of nostalgia, and I have none of that for it.
No, it's a solid Christmas film.
We will see. But we're gonna settle in and watch The Polar Express. And I would give The Polar Express 5.8 out of 10.
It's pretty low.
It's pretty low.
From the back of the box.
Mm-hmm.
It's Christmas Eve, and you're about to roller coaster up and down mountains, slip slide over ice fields, teeter across mile-high bridges, and be served hot chocolate by singing waiters more astonishing than any you can imagine. You're on the Polar Express. Tom Hanks stars in, and Robert Zemeckis directs this instant holiday classic, filmed in dazzling performance-captured animation that makes every moment magical. So that's actually part of the problem. I don't like the style of the animation. I don't like the visual look throughout the movie. It is like the entire thing has an early CG look to it that it makes a style, but I'm not a big fan. And like the technology that it utilized to get it with the motion capture is great for what it's become. But I believe this is like the first all performance capture film. Still had some kinks to be worked out.
Came out in 2004.
Yeah, no, it is definitely, yeah, that is, it is an older one. I'm sure it's been so long since I've seen it, I'm sure I would have issues, like, if I go back and watch, like, the original Toy Story. I'm like, I am sure that it will bother me, too. But it's at that point where, and I mean, and it's some movies like that in my head makes me feel like I don't like computer animation. But when we watched Frozen, I was like, no, they did pretty good.
Because of the work that these movies did to get us there.
Exactly. So good job for history.
You should at least be a 6.8 because we know it funds and helps, along the progress.
I'm judging it on
technology.
itself.
It's a 10
some of the songs are kind of cute.
It's super cute.
There is no actual conclusion to the plot line about the hobo. He just kind of gets dropped. Hobo's some sort of ghost, but why is he there? What does he have to do with the kid?
A little helping spirit, but not so much a helping. I mean, yeah, he's just.
Yeah.
Yep.
We can speculate a lot. The story is of Hero Boy. That's actually another problem I have. They don't bother to give enough character to any of the children. They give them problems. Hero Boy's problem is believing. Leader Girl's problem is being a leader.
And being more confident.
Know-it-all's problem is he needs to know more. Poor Boy's problem is he needs to make friends. So, but Hero Boy doesn't believe in Santa. but chooses to get on the strange train that comes to abduct him in the dead of night, Christmas Eve. He finds himself whisked away on, like, when it says...
He wants to believe. That's why.
It calls it a roller coaster, and a lot of the scenes that are the fun action scenes are very roller coaster scenes. Mm-hmm. It would make for a cool amusement park ride. And I'm like, was it originally like 3D? Because I know some like 3D movies try and do that, and it feels like it might have been.
It might have been. I don't remember.
But I'm not watching it in 3D.
Yeah, it wasn't sold to us in 3D either.
No, that wasn't an option.
No.
And so a lot of it just feels like, okay, yes, this would be a cool roller coaster, but that does not an action-packed scene make. They do interesting... Anyway, so he's whisked away on this roller coaster train. Bad things happen briefly, and then get solved. Just in time for the next bad thing to happen, and then get solved. For the next bad thing to happen and get solved. Until eventually they find themselves in the North Pole, having made their way through Santa's workshop to meet Santa so the boy can listen to bells again. By finally believing. And then he gets to meet Santa. There's like interesting concepts with like the thought process they put into the different mechanisms of Santa, like just like, oh, the thoughts of, oh, how big would Santa's sack have to be? And then they like, well, we could show it be really big. It still does not seem big enough. But they show it, being fairly how is he going to get there in time? And there's a lot of time shenanigans where time just freezes.
It does feel like the Santa's bag. While it is depicted very largely, I could imagine it being, TARDIS-like in that it's bigger on the inside, even though it looks huge on the outside, that it still somehow is holding more things.
Yeah. There is a point where you see a ground-based compass in the North Pole, and all 4 directions are labeled south. And that was brilliant. I laughed. It was great. That was a clever visual joke, and I'm just like, it's the North Pole. Every direction is south from there. I get it. So I did like that. That one, I gotta give him. And overall, I'm sure from a child's perspective, it's fun and exciting. And I mean, some of those, like some of the roller coaster action scenes might feel like an action scene to a kid. I'm not the target audience. And that's kind of what I do when you picked out a movie you liked from childhood. I'm like, I don't have the nostalgia. I don't see it with the kids' eyes.
I still remember seeing it with the kids' eyes. I think this is the first time I realized that no one has names except for Billy, the poor boy, who we learn at the very end. I don't think I ever fully put that together until I'm like, they really don't have any names besides him.
I was starting, we were a fair bit into it when I'm like, is our main character going, even a voiced protagonist? Because he just didn't talk for so long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's definitely very weird. I do have a lot of nostalgia for it. Mm-hmm. And it being a 2004 release, so it came out when I was 7. Does put a lot more context into it. I was remembering things of Billy, same kid. I have a lot of memories about Billy. The not protagonist person. Mm-hmm. That I remember seeing this movie in school. Had to be elementary school. Mm-hmm. And there was a kid in our classroom that looked like Billy. So we joked that he was Ramsey, and so my brain said before his name was revealed to us that it was Billy. I was like, it's probably Ramsey. I'm like, no, it's not Ramsey. That was the kid in school that he looked like. So my heart, Billy's Ramsey. It's fine. But no, it still holds up. It's still cute and fun, and yeah, there's certainly plot holes, and yeah, there's just a lot more roller coasteriness than I remembered. I was like, okay, we're doing a lot with the roller coaster stuff. Okay, cool. But that's fine. Like, it definitely is not, you know, like, my most favoriteest Christmas movie of all times. I still thoroughly enjoyed it. I still think it's very fun. It still makes me want hot chocolate. My biggest issue with it, though, and they don't touch on it, right? It is the sleigh bells. You can only hear if you believe. However, we see Hero Boy's tree. Christmas Eve, when he's in bed, there's no present underneath that tree. His parents didn't get him shit. There's nothing. Him and his sister got nothing. Christmas morning, suddenly there's presents, and the parents can't hear the bell. And I'm like, I'm sorry. If you are actively relying on Santa to get your kids presents, you best damn believe in him. You better hear that bell. Like, I would be fine if there were, like, a couple, like, not very many. Like, okay, there's, like, 4. You know, each kid got 2 presents. And then, like, you know, they're like, huh. And it's just, like, maybe it's, like, a little, like, you know, like, then suddenly it's, like, there's, you know, 8 or 9. You get some more, and it's fine. And they're like, huh, it's a little weird. Maybe we did buy that. Holidays are crazy. And you just kind of, like, you know, like, that's how they ignore it in their adult brain. But the fact that there was none... It was 0.
So I know the answer to that. The reason there are 0 is because if there are any, to some children, that's going to look like Santa's been there. Because you don't know what the audience member is and what they get. And I, like you, grew up in a household where I have been spoiled. And I get so many gifts.
Yeah.
But I am also aware there are kids out there that getting a gift is a miracle.
Sure. No, for sure. However...
Billy would be that kind of person.
No, for sure. And if we'd seen Billy's and, like, it was 0 and then it was just 1, that makes a lot more sense. There were definitely multiple presents that they got. And I'm just like... And then it's like, okay, so is the logic then they get whatever their parents could mentally think that they were getting them?
Or the parents are also putting out gifts overnight.
Yeah.
To try and make it believe, and it's the same with, yeah.
It's all suspicious.
Yeah. Also, that train wasn't set up overnight. Who set up that train?
I'm just
Was it the conductor?
Did
Tom Hanks do it?
So much. But it's, you know, it's Christmas magic, and so it's like, you know, you can really start poking holes in it if you really want to do that. So it's like, fine, whatever. Yeah, things just kept magically working out because it was Christmas and it was going to all work out.
Yeah. Anyways. So, we will get some hot chocolate. The only rule is to never, ever let it cool. We'll let you start baking cookies for Christmas, and we're going to call it a night. Thank you for joining us. Join us as our journey continues. Bye.